Have you ever wondered if there is a place in the world where men can freely sleep with many women without being criticized or looked down upon? Welcome to Namibia, a country in southern Africa known for its incredibly bizarre customs. Here, not only are men free to be with any woman without their wives objecting, but they can also offer their wives to any guest who visits without any trouble. Do you want to dive deeper into these strange customs? What secrets might be hidden in this country? Let's explore 6 fascinating facts about Namibia in today's video. First, let's start with a local custom that would make any man want to visit Namibia. The Himba people are a semi-nomadic ethnic group living in the Kunene region of northern Namibia. Their population is estimated to be between 50,000 and 100,000, and they are one of the ethnic groups that have preserved some of the oldest customs and traditions in Africa. In Himba culture, there is a unique custom called Okujapisa Omukazendu, which means offering the wife to a guest according to ancient tradition. When a guest arrives and wishes to stay overnight, the wife takes on the role of host, while the husband temporarily leaves the bedroom and finds rest in the living room or another private space in the house. This does not mean that he is jealous or displeased, rather, it is part of the Himba people's way of showing hospitality. Initially, this practice astonishes many visitors as it contrasts with traditional views of marriage in modern society. However, in the Himba community, this custom is not only considered normal but is also viewed as a noble gesture that demonstrates respect and hospitality. This custom has deep roots in the hospitality and communal culture of the Himba people. For them, inviting a guest to sleep with the wife is not an act of disrespect or devaluation of marriage. On the contrary, it is a way of showing respect and gratitude toward the guest. The man sees inviting the guest to share intimacy with his wife as the highest expression of friendship and trust. The tribe's long-standing tradition is considered beneficial for the community. It reduces jealousy and promotes the couple's daily relationship. However, it's important to note that while the husband may extend the invitation, it is the wife who decides whether or not to accept. In Himba society, women have the right to make decisions about their own bodies, and they are not forced to do anything against their will. Research into Himba culture shows that women play a significant role in the family and society. They are not only wives and mothers, but also manage the household, take care of children, and handle the family's shared assets. In many cases, they are responsible for economic activities such as livestock farming or producing agricultural goods. Although Himba society is patriarchal, Himba women enjoy considerable personal freedoms, particularly in matters of intimacy and marriage. This contrasts with other societies where women are often constrained by strict family rules. The Himba's wife offering custom is also a testament to the clear gender division but mutual respect within the community. While the man has the right to make the invitation, the wife has the right to accept or decline without any coercion. This reflects the level of respect for women's autonomy regarding their bodies and personal decisions. Additionally, another custom that would surprise other cultures is that if the guest is a woman and a friend of the wife, the Himba woman must also offer her friend to her husband. However, this practice is now rare. Many anthropologists have noted that Himba women hold a relatively independent position in society. They can engage in various social activities without being bound by their husbands. For example, women can go out alone, meet, and interact with others without needing their husband's presence or permission, which is quite rare in other traditional African societies. Although the Himba have maintained this custom for generations, under the pressures of globalization and cultural change, the wife-offering practice is becoming less common. Today, many young Himba have access to education and exposure to other cultures, which has shifted their perspectives. Additionally, another custom that would surprise other cultures is that if the guest is a woman and a friend of the wife, the Himba woman must also offer her friend to her husband. However, this practice is now rare. Many anthropologists have noted that Himba women hold a relatively independent position in society. They can engage in various social activities without being bound by their husbands. For example, women can go out alone, meet, and interact with others without needing their husband's presence or permission, which is quite rare in other traditional African societies. Although the Himba have maintained this custom for generations, under the pressures of globalization and cultural change, the wife-offering practice is becoming less common. Today, many young Himba have access to education and exposure to other cultures, which has shifted their perspectives. In Namibia, The idea of a man having multiple wives is not just about having more love. It is actually a strategy to strengthen social and economic ties between families. In traditional society, marriage is not just a matter between two people, but a way to connect one family with another, creating a vast and solid social network. Thus, when a man marries multiple wives, he not only gains affection but also brings home beneficial relationships for the family in terms of economy. It's truly a win-win situation. Families with multiple wives are often viewed as wealthy and influential within the community. Each wife, in addition to being a partner, brings in different connections that help the family expand its influence. Imagine that if each wife is a bridge to other families, that family will become a large network with plenty of mutually supportive relationships. This is a way to ensure the long-term development of both the family and the community. Jokingly, while in many places, people invest in real estate, in Namibia, investing in marriage is also a lucrative business. Interestingly, in a polygamous family, everything is clearly divided. The husband is, of course, the head of the household, but the wives also play significant roles. The first wife typically has the primary responsibility for managing the household, from taking care of the children to supervising the assets. Subsequent wives take on other tasks such as livestock care, farming, or trading. Additionally, women often serve as connectors between the members of the polygamous family. They not only help maintain harmony and bonding, but also frequently mediate any conflicts that may arise between the wives. The affection and mutual support among the wives are also factors that help the family function effectively. This reminds me of a family business. The first wife is the CEO. The other wives are department managers, while the husband acts as the CEO focused on strategic matters. Everyone has their own job, contributing their part, helping the family run like a small enterprise. Truly, they are both working and enjoying. Polygamous marriage in Namibia is also a practical survival strategy. In semi-desert regions like where the Himba people live, living conditions can be quite harsh. Therefore, sharing responsibilities within the family is a way to ensure that everything is accomplished in the best way possible. Each wife is responsible for a part, from taking care of livestock to farming, allowing the family to survive and thrive through tough times. Moreover, polygamous marriages help families expand their lineage. In traditional society, having many children symbolizes strength and wealth. A family with multiple wives will clearly have more children, right? The more children, the more successors there are, and the more people there are to care for the family. From a long-term strategic perspective, this is a significant advantage. Of course, not every polygamous family is as harmonious as we might imagine. Everyone knows that in a family with many members, there can sometimes be conflicts, especially when it comes to vying for the husband's attention. Competition among the wives is unavoidable, and sometimes small disputes can escalate into larger issues if not handled carefully. However, the Himba and Herero people are accustomed to living in large families, and they have their own rules and traditions for resolving these issues. Many polygamous families have existed for generations, and the cooperation among the wives has been a key factor in the family's development. Although there may be occasional turbulence, they still manage to overcome challenges and live in harmony. While polygamous marriage is still prevalent in rural Namibia, urban areas and younger generations are gradually changing their views on marriage. Nowadays, many young people have access to education, technology, and modern values, leading them to view multiple wives differently. They tend to prefer monogamous relationships, where both partners share responsibilities and rights equally. Especially for young women in cities, they have more opportunities for education and work, allowing them to have control over the cows of rice. They can choose not to participate in polygamous marriages and instead build their lives in their own way. Of course, this change does not happen overnight, but it shows that Namibian society is slowly evolving under the influence of the modern world. In summary, polygamous marriage in Namibia is not only an interesting cultural tradition, but also reflects how the people there maintain social stability and economic development. Each polygamous family is like a small business, where everyone shares work and responsibilities, while creating strong social connections. So, let's delve deeper into how the roles are assigned in these polygamous families in the next section. In a polygamous family in Namibia, especially in communities like the Himba and Herero, the roles and responsibilities of each wife are clearly defined, with little overlap or excessive competition among them. This might lead outsiders to imagine a chaotic household filled with rivalry, but the reality is quite different. Instead of dramatic scenes like those in soap operas, the wives often collaborate to ensure that the family remains stable and prosperous. In a polygamous family in Namibia, especially in communities like the Himba and Herero, the roles and responsibilities of each wife are clearly defined, with little overlap or excessive competition among them. This might lead outsiders to imagine a chaotic household filled with rivalry, but the reality is quite different. Instead of dramatic scenes like those in soap operas, the wives often collaborate to ensure that the family remains stable and prosperous. Each wife is assigned specific tasks. Some focus on caring for the children. Others manage the household assets, while additional wives take on agricultural work or livestock management. Everyone does what they excel at, with no one stepping on each other's toes. This division of labor not only allows the family to function smoothly but also creates a system that could be called a super organization. Surprisingly, the wives do not rely entirely on their husband. They have considerable autonomy in managing and overseeing their respective responsibilities. Imagine this as a family business with very professional department heads overseeing everything from child rearing to livestock management to farming. The husband may sometimes play the role of a not-so-busy CEO, while the daily operations are handled entirely by the wives. Just think about it, this clearly alleviates the burden on everyone, with no one overwhelmed with too many tasks at once. Each person has their own specialty, and thanks to this smooth coordination, the family can operate effectively. Humorously, in this model, there are times when the wives will sit together and advise the husband on major family decisions. They will share their thoughts on whether the family should expand its social connections or invest further in livestock. Indeed, in many families, the wives have a significant degree of autonomy in their roles. They can manage their own assets, particularly in wealthier households. Each wife might even have a slush fund from selling milk or agricultural products that they manage independently. Another interesting point is that the wives in a polygamous family do not see each other as rivals. Instead, they cooperate closely. For example, one wife might watch over the children of another, or they may assist each other with farming or livestock care. There are no scenes of backstabbing or jealousy like those in drama series. They understand that collaborating makes everything run much more smoothly, and ultimately, everyone benefits. This leads to a remarkable harmony within polygamous families. When everyone knows their roles and respects one another, conflicts are nearly non-existent. There will surely be moments of disagreement, but things are usually resolved quickly. In fact, the wives here are quite professional at maintaining harmony. Everything is handled in a spirit of cooperation rather than competitive rivalry to win the husband's favor. If we look closely, their lives resemble a small society with tight organization and flexibility. Each person has their own work, but all are focused on the common goal of the family's development and prosperity. Importantly, they always know how to resolve minor conflicts to maintain peace and happiness in the family. In a harsh land like Namibia, where nature does not always provide, this model has proven effective over generations. Women in these families are not just mothers and wives. They are talented managers who know how to run and preserve the family assets. The husband may be the boss of the family, but the wives are the crucial right hands that keep everything running smoothly. Next, let's explore the unique marriage ceremonies and the culture of the Himba and Herero, where each wedding is not just a connection between two individuals, but a significant event that connects both families. The Himba tribe is known as one of the places that still preserves many special customs. Men are allowed to abduct the girl they like to make her their wife. According to marriage customs, girls are often given a cowhide scarf from their mothers, a headscarf that is passed down from mother to daughter through generations. When the bride is abducted by the groom and his family to become a wife, they must use that cowhide scarf to cover her face. When the wedding begins, the two main characters perform sacred rituals together before officially starting their life together. In the culture of the Himba and Herero, marriage is not just a simple union between two people, but also a sacred event where ancestors play a crucial role as guardians and witnesses to this relationship. For these communities, ancestors are not just deceased figures, but are still seen as observers and interveners in the lives of their descendants. Therefore, receiving consent from the ancestors through rituals is essential to ensure happiness and prosperity for the couple. Once the ancestors receive offerings and listen to the prayers, they are expected not only to witness the marriage, but also to protect and guide the newlyweds throughout their lives. The Himba and Herero believe that if the ancestors are pleased with the respect and sincerity of their descendants, they will bless the couple, bringing prosperity and happiness to the new family. Conversely, if the prayers are not performed correctly or the offerings are unsuitable, the ancestors may be dissatisfied. This is not a joke, as there is a deep belief that any difficulties in the future, from family conflicts to crop failures, may be the result of not pleasing the ancestors during the wedding ceremony. And of course, the exchange of gifts is essential. The gifts here are not merely symbolic items but are often valuable assets like livestock, jewelry, and agricultural product. The bride and groom essentially bring dowries to exchange, demonstrating that the two families not only unite in love but are also committed to building and maintaining a strong relationship. The wedding is not just the story of two people but also an opportunity to connect two families, even two clans. Almost everyone in the village participates, from close relatives to neighbors, and of course, there are gifts and well wishes from them. The community's involvement makes the wedding a grand, joyful, and colorful event. In addition to blessing the couple, weddings are also an occasion for the villagers to bond more closely. Everyone, regardless of age, contributes to the wedding preparations, from organizing and cooking to cleaning up after the celebration. This is also a way for the community to maintain traditional values and preserve cultural identity. By working together for the ceremony, they not only witness the beginning of a new relationship, but also reinforce the spirit of solidarity in the village. In a polygamous society, marriage is not only about connecting one wife to one husband, but it is also an important step in expanding and strengthening the family. Each time a man marries another wife, he is not only marrying her but also connecting another new family. These marriages help the husband's family become stronger, creating a close-knit social network and expanding their influence within the community. Furthermore, polygamous marriages also have significant economic implications. The more wives there are, the larger the family becomes, and the greater the labor force. This helps the family operate more effectively, especially in managing assets and livestock, both of which are incredibly valuable in Himba culture. With more wives and children, the family not only becomes more powerful but also creates long-term stability within the community. Despite living in a polygamous society, women in Namibia maintain their position in marriage. This may surprise many, as when thinking about a society where men can take multiple wives, one might assume that women are disadvantaged or coerced. In reality, the opposite is true. Women here are not sidelined in important decisions. On the contrary, they have the right to choose and the freedom in their marital lives. They can completely decide whether they want to enter into that marriage and whom to marry. This clearly reflects the respect afforded to women in Namibian society. Although there may be pressures from family or the community, the final decision still rests with the woman. They are not forced to marry, especially in families that are economically and socially well off. Women have the full right to accept or refuse a marriage, which is fundamental in building a happy family. Even if a woman decides to enter a polygamous system, it must be her own consent, not due to external pressure. Once married, women in a polygamous family have a range of rights and responsibilities. They are not merely the partner of the husband but also play a significant role in managing assets and running the household. For the Himba people, women often manage the family's most important assets, such as livestock, a valuable asset in the society. This means they play a crucial role in maintaining the family economy and addressing daily issues. Furthermore, women have a voice in major family decisions, from financial matters to educating children. The division of responsibilities in polygamous families allows them to assert their roles and contributions without being entirely dependent on their husbands. One of the standout features of Namibian society is that despite polygamy being common, women retain considerable independence. They not only participate in family tasks but can also own property, from livestock to land. This grants them economic power within the family and helps them have a voice in society. This independence is clearly manifested through women's ability to make individual decisions without needing their husband's permission. They have the freedom to run their lives, manage assets, care for children, and engage in social activities. Thus, women in polygamous families are not bound by strict rules yet still enjoy the freedom to pursue their lives. Interestingly, Namibian women also play a crucial role in maintaining peace and stability within polygamous families. With their ability to manage assets and run household affairs, they keep everything functioning smoothly. They ensure that the other wives in the family can collaborate without causing conflict. This helps polygamous families maintain harmony and sustainable development over time. Although Namibian society is traditionally patriarchal, the position of women remains strong and respectable. This is evident in their empowerment to make independent decisions regarding important life matters. From marriage to asset management, women here are not seen as bound by rigid rules. Instead, they have considerable autonomy. Women in polygamous families do not just fulfill the role of a wife. They are real leaders within the household. Thanks to this, they have a voice and an important role in society. Even though this marriage model may be much more complex than the monogamous marriages commonly seen elsewhere. Instead of fierce competition or rivalry within the shared household, wives in polygamous families often collaborate and support one another in daily life. From taking care of children to managing agricultural tasks or livestock, there is a clear division of responsibilities, with each person having their own duties and roles. Interestingly, although each person has different tasks, they do not work independently. On the contrary, the close connection between the wives helps the family work more smoothly and efficiently. Moreover, this collaborative environment fosters trust and affection among the wives. While there may sometimes be a bit of competition for the husband's attention, which is quite natural, everything is generally maintained in a spirit of respect and mutual support. Sharing responsibilities not only stabilizes the family but also creates a positive atmosphere, making family life more pleasant. For the husband, maintaining balance in a polygamous family is no simple task. To ensure that the wives feel valued and have their own place within the family, he must be skillful and tactful in his interactions. This involves not only dividing his time fairly among the wives, but also building deep emotional connections with each of them. This requires him to be perceptive in communication, attentive to their needs, and considerate of each wife's feelings. Although not like monogamous marriages, where affection is often viewed as exclusive, polygamous families in Namibia still maintain strong emotional bonds. In fact, husbands often spend individual time with each wife, fostering a special personal relationship with each one. As a result, the affection within the family is not shared negatively. Rather, each relationship is developed in its own way, leading to lasting and sustainable connections. While polygamous marriage in Namibia may seem strange and complex to many, the affection and cohesion among family members remain the most important factors. Wives often support each other not only in daily tasks but also in raising children, creating a warm and loving family environment. Children in polygamous families are not just cared for by one mother, they receive love from multiple mothers, helping them grow up in a nurturing and affectionate environment. Notably, the relationship between the husband and each wife goes beyond merely dividing time or material resources. It is genuinely built on a foundation of respect and affection. The husband must know how to make each wife feel loved and cared for, thereby creating balance and stability within the family. Namibia, with its unique customs and traditions, offers us a fresh and distinctive perspective on marital life, from the peculiar hospitality customs to polygamous practices. These not only reflect respect for individual freedom but also emphasize the importance of women within families and communities in Namibian society. Through these strange facts, we can see that each culture has its own values, and understanding and respecting them is essential. All the information in today's video has been gathered from various reputable sources and is intended for reference only. We encourage viewers to explore multiple sources to supplement the information in the most diverse and accurate way possible. If you find this video interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss out on other captivating stories about unique places around the world. Please leave a comment below about which peculiar fact about this country impressed you the most. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to joining you on our next journeys.